So we live in these wonderful times when the norms are changing and the world is again on a cusp of huge changes. With AI and everything, a lot of jobs would be created and a lot of jobs will be changed because the workforce is going to be changing. We are going to be changing the way that we make money, how our jobs are aligned, how we work. And there still is going to be what is known as human on the loop. And of course, there are some jobs like which AI will not be able to do. It can work, it can create work processes faster, but it still cannot replace people, and there is always risk with the new technology. But things are going to be changing. So when times are changing like these, when there's so many changes already happening, new things are happening, Europe, Russia, America, it's not, and China, it is not the old geopolitical forces working, but the old geopolitical forces rather are working in a new way. So a lot of things, options that we took for granted are changing, including our work. It may be replaced by AI, it may not be replaced by AI, but something else will come up. Computers came up, it didn't happen that people lost jobs. Automation came up, it didn't happen that people lost. People have to requalify, still do something, but there's always work. As long as people are alive on the planet, there is going to be work. Even if it is working with other people, working with yourself. So do not ever worry about, oh, this will happen. Be prepared for all the changes, but live fearlessly. That's the first thing. The other thing is that when so many things and our assumptions of what will be there tomorrow or not are changing, the old generation, like the old school, like I am, we will manage. But the better management, the people who will need to be more flexible and who are already armed with that flexibility and who will be able to live in the new world which is changing right now is the younger generation. It's a new type of people who are being born right now. And they're not always physically healthy. Maybe because of the pollution, maybe because of the stress, less children are being born and even less healthier children are being born. And sometimes I will be told, so even recently I was told by, oh, look at that family, they have everything and they have a small child, and etc. And then there was a shooting. It turned out that the money was from drugs and the child that they had after so many efforts, because the money in the family is not uh, is not pure. The whole family is having, and the children are, and the child is suffering more. So everything is changing. Everything is always changing. But these are times of change. And one of the Chinese proverbs was, it can be a curse, it can be a blessing. May you live in times of changes. This So changes are happening. The old school will manage it because there is always going to be work. AI is happening, but there will be a new way to work. There's always going to be work. Work with yourself, work with someone. Something will always be there. Do not think that humanity is at a point where there is going to be no work. There's always going to be work, even if it is managing the AI. The other thing is that the most flexible people who are already being born and who are different from the old school. They're more flexible, they're more even effeminate. I saw someone showed to me uh, male models of Gucci 1995, very masculine and very, very strongly armed with masculine energy. And 2025, the Gucci, and you couldn't make them out from the girls. They were very effeminate. So men also have become very, very changed nowadays. It's not the same masculine people. If you will even see the movies of 80s, 90s, and the bromance movies of today, you will feel that the men are have a different role model, are much more in touch with their feminine energy, whether it's good or bad. So everything is changing. The Europe and America are not always able to be on one. NATO is not the same as it was. So all the dynamics are changing right now. And of course, the most is that the children are suffering. There are very few healthy children being born nowadays. I'm sometimes called, and the teenagers who are suicidal, and part of them today, if we are going to be praying with Anastasia and her mother Olga. And Olga has been suffering because Anastasia will leave the house. She's 15, 16. And of course, there are more than one instant when some old age guy will reach out to her and tell to the girl, girl, you are Hollywood material. What are you doing in this Toronto? And the girl will be feeling very, um, she will be acknowledged because uh, children do not accept compliments from parents. They think that parents are liars for different reasons. They trust now ChatGPT more or Google more or whatever, but they do not always relate to the compliments that are given to them by parents nowadays. But if someone on the internet reaches out and say, hey, you are like Hollywood material, and what are you doing over out here? I'll help you to run away from here. The girls agree, and there can be even be sexual notes so on this that the guy can say, the 35-year-old confidently will tell to the girl that, and the girl might be from a divorced family, may not be having a father figure. So this applies to everyone. And the guy can say, you know what, I'll be the father figure, I'll send you the money, I'll support you. And of course, you're meant for Hollywood, you're not meant for this ordinary life. And the 15, 16-year-old girl, and then the guy can say, you know what, you have to do some strip, etc. You have to show, take off your clothes because it's all for art, and you're getting into a world of modeling. This is accepted. And once a girl does that, or even a boy does that, then they are hooked up because the guy keeps on will take, if you do not agree to me, I'll show to everyone the video and this, strangely, this technique works very well. The case is when a guy was able to influence 400, 500 people on the Netflix, some Korean 25-year-old guy was had 400 such slaves via this, oh, I'm a modeling agent, show me your body. And then he traumatized them to a point, he made them slaves to a point where these teenager girls were, some of them committed suicide, and then the government got involved. It's on the Netflix if anyone who is interested. And there are analogical events having happening in India, etc. But the story is that the children, because of the differences which are happening, when even the grown-ups like us, we are shaken up by the changes which are happening, the teenagers and children are not feeling well because they feel the stress of the planet. They are special children, they'll manage it. But the teenagers are traumatized, and the government is not releasing the suicide statistics. But I have been called up by some of the parents who lost their children, including yesterday. Some of them were in BC, and they already have lost their children. And my daughter was in a school with her three friends, and when she was in the 11th, which means around 16, three of her friends from the class committed suicide at the same time. So the teenagers are are very much traumatized, and even more, they are exploited. I do not know who has this agenda, but on one side, the government for the first time is spending a lot of money on talk to us hub, sort of talk. If you are young and you feel suicidal, talk to us. In there are ads hidden and on YouTube and everywhere. much more than they were earlier. So they know the need. And what can you do with a suicidal teenager? You can only listen. There's only a talk line, there's only a helpline. You can only listen to them. They don't really trust you so much that they will accept your advice, but they want to talk and we can just listen. The second tendency is that whoever is using this, as it is, teenagers were always traumatized throughout history. That is the way when hormones. But right now, if you are having these hormonal issues, which every teenager has, and you're more suicidal, etc., the tendency is to tell them, hey, maybe all this is happening because you are in the wrong body. So the teenagers agree to sex change operations when they are 13. And there have been instances. One mother was complaining on the radio that I needed a hip exchange like me, and I was told that 1 year of waiting. And my daughter, at 14, she wanted the sex change, and within 4 months, the government did it all and didn't even inform me. Post factum only I was informed. So it's a very strange tendency. And I even know people who moved back to Russia or Ukraine to avoid this sex education and this sort of stress. And I know some Russian families, very traditional families, in which suddenly the girl is saying, "I'm a boy," but not to the extent that I'm going to be having the operation, but just telling her sisters, "Now call me brother now from now." And the parents do not know, and they approach me. I said, "We can only listen and pray." This is hormonal in the mind, but it will pass. They need a balance, they need role models, which they do not have. The only role models most teenagers have nowadays are influencers. Influencers who are shooting fake lives, how happy they are. How happy can you be if you're on this planet? How happy? If you have millions as you think, then you are always going to be having a guilt that there are billions who do not have enough to eat. How happy can you be with your millions or billions? Being happy on this planet without connecting to God is impossible. And teenagers are, some are, but very, it is an exception because they are at a scientific, oh, if I don't see it, I won't trust it. If I don't see it, I won't trust it. So we are praying for Olga, who just joined, and Olga and her daughter. And we are praying for all the teenagers and all the children who are not well, and they are coming as saviors to this planet. My school is going to go away, and the new generation, they are getting the wrong focus. First of all, they are led to psychiatrists who tell them, "Oh, you are traumatized. So there is a trauma. Yes, of course, you are a victim." And then they are slowly led to the path that maybe all this will go away if you will become cool. And how do you become cool? By going for a sex change operation. And I was recently met someone who is friends with a girl, or rather a lady, who became a man. But the man that she became is gay and has sex with men. So still the soul of a girl is having sex with a boy, but now the body is male. But what do you call such a situation? So it is very, very, this is a strange world in which there is no right or wrong answer, except that each one of you, to help the teenagers, must keep on maintaining a pure heart. A pure heart is one in which the presence of God is there. Presence of God is there only when you trust the universe. You see the beauty of your life, which no one does almost. You see how beautiful and perfect your life is. No matter your personality, no, I want more, but that's from the head. The heart is always going to be having gratitude for the experience of life so that you can help teenagers. And we are going to be praying for, especially for Anastasia, so that she does not go for the sex change operation, because the government is not fully even sharing that, okay, supposing there is less than, I would say, 1% teenagers who feel that they are in the wrong body, they go for an but there are millions of cases when after operation they still end up feeling depressed because just by having a male organ instead of a female or the other way around does not lead you to a place from where you have gratitude for your life, where you are more connected to the God. Shiva himself is half male, half female by definition, because the creator. So having sex organs and chains, etc., it does not affect the soul because the soul is beyond male, female. But the expectation of a teenager, no, I'm going through this painful experience, and now that I'm a female, my life will change, and it doesn't change. If there is a crack in your thinking, then it's going to continue. So there are lots of cases when people have even these teenagers have these extreme operations, and they're not tracking how many then. And I know some who want to go back to their old body and they cannot. The hormones are one time. So, in this very difficult world, we are going to be praying specifically today so that Anastasia, who is being marked and who is asking, and the doctors are advising for a sex change operation, that doesn't happen because we know that this is all absurd. The soul is not male, female. Your physical body and with whom you have had sex and did not have sex, and what is all those are attributes of the body. The spiritual power is beyond the body things, but we are very invested in thinking that we are this body and the operations will make me this or that. No, the only thing that can take you beyond your trauma of being a teenager is if the parents pray, because the parents prayers do reach children. Two, if the teenager starts to pray, very rarely that happens, but I have talked with sometimes it works. And the third is that you have to trust the universe in everything that's happening. We can't really fight anything, but we'll pray for the clarity of the daughter. Again, her name is Anastasia, and we are praying so that she, in her heart, discovers, and less than 18, I think she's 16, 17. So less than 18, 19, it works. After 19, 20, we can pray for another person, but if they do not want it, we can't reach out. So as we are all mothers and fathers, we are opening our hearts, and Olga is here, and for her daughter, Stacy, Anastasia, we are praying. Om Triambakhamidame, Sugandhim Pastivardhanam. Just imagine in three ways. Imagine that the prayer energy is from your heart going to the mother and the daughter. Second, just feel that they are both smiling. And the third is offer to them especially to the daughter, who is very scared also. I can see that she's scared. But there are people convincing her that, oh, if you do this, then your life will change for the better, and etc. It doesn't work like that. So we'll all start to pray as one mother and father for Nastya, so that the 16, 17-year-old Nastya, who has been running away from family, etc. These are all because the parents are divorced and all that. But these are now standard scenarios. So praying for the daughter and the mother. Om Triambakam. As you pray for Nastya, your own body becomes transparent. You let go of your body, mind, intellect, retaining only the golden heart. Om Triambakam Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukna Nrityur Mukshim Amrata. Om Triambakam Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukna Nrityur Mukshim Amrata. Om Triambakam Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukna Nrityur Mukshim Amrata. Om Triambakam Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukna Nrityur Mukshim Amrata. Om Triambakam Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukna Nrityur Mukshim Amrata. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. And I'm holding a prayer bead of 108. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. 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 Katrina, and we know that you also have children, so we are praying for all the traumatized and all the special children who are on the planet right now, and everyone is going through changes. Therefore, everyone is traumatized. And our job as spiritual powers is to have a clean, golden heart so that we can be role models. And we are praying for Anastasia, who is facing the dilemma of having a sex change operation. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. 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 Offering to all the ancestors of Nastya and your own ancestors. We are all intermixed. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. Offering to all the mothers and mother figures in Nastya's life. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. Offering to all the father figures in Nastya's life. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. Offering to all the people who have participated in any way in Nastya's life. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. And you'll have to, as the mother, you will have to go to the church 3 days continuously, any church, any Catholic church, and pray for to Mother Mary for special, so that the daughter anger and all this disconnectedness and her anger at parents and at men, and she has been cheated, already been cheated by men, etc. So a lot of anger. So we are praying for her to be balanced and not to agree to this. And there are two doctors out there. There are two doctors who are trying to get her to have this operation. And we'll have to pray so that this does not, that no one can interfere with a teenager's mind or mindset. Like, she continues to be a normal girl that she is at heart. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvaruknan Mrityurmukshemamrita. Ochina Siasina Nevisa, the Preslait Saima, the Pribudit Saso, the Sponsa Volu to Neva in Nizam. Lainam Klepsu Shidnisi, Prestinam Nashadal Giakarmi Preshem, the Nikam Nasham. Within us at this Kushini is about the war. And the mother, I'll ask you to pray 108 times Ochinash morning and evening. Ochinash 108 times minimum for this girl. And I'll be praying and the group will be praying. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of Lord, pray for us sinners, now and in the hour of our death. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of Lord, pray for us sinners, now and in the hour of our death. Om Trembakam Yamai, Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam, Urvarupnan Mitir Mukshema Pum Tatat, Om Bhubrusa, Tatsadornyam, Bhargo Deva Sadimi, Dio Yo Napra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinam, Sarve Shanti Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyat Tuktegva. Om Purnamade, Purnamade, Purnat Purnamadachyate, Purnasya Purnameda Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti, 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 Shanti. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat, Hari Om. Visualize that the girl is normal, she's not going through any operation, and she has harmony in her heart. Just visualize it and bless her. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and as we are praying with everyone on the Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Anna, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Cindy, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Caroline, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Catherine, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Galia, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Hal, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Olga, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Irina, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Cat, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Catherine, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Nikolai, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Christine, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Anton, and Om Namah Shivaya Sophie and Child. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Larissa, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Laura, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Mark, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Olga, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Anastasia, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Paras, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Preeti, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Vikka. The world is a very traumatized place. Offer the smile and the from your heart, from your kidney, from your liver, from the spine, from each and every brain cell to all the teenagers. We can even pray, give us your stress because we are old, we'll manage it. We'll manage it with laughter. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shanti, 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 Shanti. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Till tomorrow, same time. Keep on praying for this girl so that she has harmony and she doesn't agree to this operation. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे शान्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखेन ओम शांति 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 अस्तो मा सतमय सत तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्यों मा अमृतमय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय।